The Game On Podcast.
Did I read somewhere in my notes here that that they used to row across Port River to get to Alberton twice a week?
Correct. So Dad would often, Pop would, because at this stage when the boys were playing football, Pop had obviously finished playing for Port. So sometimes there'd be two in the dinghy. Sometimes, the four of them, three boys and Pop. Mainly when Dad was going, him and his father would row across the river. So Pop would build these rowboats, like these, not canoes, but dinghies, and Pop and Dad would row across the river, pull up on the ladder across the road at the wharf, climb the ladder, tie the dinghy off, climb the ladder, walk down to Alberton.
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
It's hard to believe, yeah. You're talking of quite a prominent footballer here in his heyday. And Dad would drop Pop off at the Alberton Hotel. And Dad would continue on to football training and train. And then on the way back, 6 o'clock closing in those days, as we know.
Will. Yep.
And there's Pop out the front of the Alberton Hotel waiting for his son, and they'd walk back down to the wharf, climb down the ladder, and there's the dinghy tied up to the ladder, and then they'd row across the family home again at Birkenhead.
Sportscast SA presents Game On. Game On. South Australians' destination for everything sports. Local, national, and international sports. AFL football, soccer, basketball, golf, baseball, tennis, cricket, and any other sports played in this wide world. And we're going to have a blast doing it. So sit back, relax, and let's do this thing. Welcome to Game On.
Welcome to Game On. My name's Pete. Once again in the studio with Malcolm and Quinny. Part one there. Fantastic. The whole interview, which part two is going to be coming up a little bit later on today. But amazing to think rowing across the Port River to get to training and leaving the old man at the pub and then collecting him on the way through is a great story.
Yeah, and it was a unique interview. Like, it was touching areas where obviously you don't touch very often in terms of war and all that. And, just
and it was
enormous respect for Quinny.
Absolutely.
And someone obviously known for donkey's years, and, he's a huge figure in cricket. But that was the most I've ever been into it with his dad either. I've spoken to him a little bit privately about his dad, but never to that extent.
Yep.
And
it was good because of ANZAC, the ANZAC game, and obviously the Bob Quinn medal being presented. It was interesting just to hear a family member's point of view of how that all came about. And as we said, part of